Alright, talk to me. There's no fucking way I'm letting that in. I let you in. Now that I got that obligatory stupidity intro out of the way. Talk to Me is a 2022 horror film from Australia that was released in the States, I think, end of July. So we're a little late to the party. But this is a movie I just got to the other day after hearing endless amounts of hype over this movie for months now. People telling me you have to see this movie. People saying that it's like the best horror movie in the last decade. And it's hard for me not to compare this movie to Hereditary for a few reasons, but most of all, just the hype. This is probably the most hyped A24 film since Hereditary. Both films deal with the family dynamic. They have a few things in common. They're also both, I hate the term, but slow burn horror, which A24 is known for. So there's those things there that bring Hereditary to mind. And then just the hype of it. Like when Hereditary released, it was getting like overwhelming praise from everybody. And that's one reason I don't watch trailers is I like having zero expectations, but sometimes the hype, you can't avoid it. It's the same with this movie like it was with Hereditary. And in Hereditary's case, it absolutely lived up to the hype. I think that movie's a masterpiece. So did it live up to all this hype? Not for me. Now this is a very good film. Very good performances, especially from Sophia Wilde, the main character here who plays Mia. I liked all the characters. I liked the story here. There's some great practical effects in this movie, and like demonic type makeup and stuff like that. Kind of reminded me of Evil Dead Rise a little bit. It also just made me want to watch one of Rocky Soroya's The Doll films because the demonic makeup in those movies are phenomenal. I think they did a great job making being able to contact the spirits, this party game, we'll get to that they play as like an allegory for drug addiction. That most people can, do it and have no issues and it can just be a party game, but then people like Mia, who are very vulnerable, get hooked on that feeling immediately. And then she can't stop. They did a good job with all of this, so it's a very good movie. It's just not great for me. Like, there wasn't really anything in this film that, like, blew me away or really made me go, like, wow, like, this is great. It's a very good film. It just in no way reaches the level of hype that people have been giving this movie. So, little plot synopsis for people who haven't seen it yet. This girl, Mia, who it's the second year anniversary of her mother's suicide. But Mia and her friend Jade end up going to a friend's house and they have a hand, like a porcelain hand, that supposedly underneath the porcelain is like an actual mummified hand of a psychic. And they play this party game where, and it's ridiculous, they touch the hand and they say, talk to me. And then a spirit appears in front of them that only they can see. And then they have to say, I let you in. And then they willingly get possessed for 90 seconds. And that's as long as they will let anyone do it for, because they say after that, then the spirits can stay with you. While the person who's doing it is possessed, everyone is taking videos on their cell phones of this demonically possessed person acting crazy for 90 seconds. Once you release the hand and let it go, then you're good, and it snaps you out of it. So with little spoilers as possible from there, Mia takes it a little too far with the hand, trying to communicate with her mother's spirit, and bad things happen. Now, when I first started watching it, and of course this is probably just a me thing, like usual, I couldn't stop thinking to myself how fucking stupid the whole premise is. If you even think of this, like I did, once you accept it as just like This is where we are in the movie. This is where it starts, and we're going from here. And you accept that, then it's fine, and it all works great. But these kids are playing a party game where they see an actual dead spirit in front of them, and then they willingly invite that spirit inside them to possess them. Why would anybody do this? That's a party game? I don't fucking think so, not at my parties. And I've had this conversation with a few friends already, okay? It's not like a Ouija board where, you know, like you all have your hands on the planchette. I can't believe I remembered what that fucking thing's called. You all got your hands on the planchette, and then someone can move it a little. Whoa, so who's moving it? It's not me, it's you. It's not like that. This is actually sitting down and touching this hand, and then seeing an actual spirit in front of you, having the shit scared out of you, and then inviting this spirit / demon inside of you as a game. Get the fuck out of here, man. That whole idea there is so stupid. These kids figured out that spirits are real and that you can actually conjure them and invite them inside of you. They have proof beyond shadow of a doubt. And instead, the first thing they do is waste that knowledge on a party game. Again, this is just me and how my brain works. It's the first thing I thought of upon watching this movie. Once you get past that and accept that for that's just how it is, everything afterwards works fantastically. There's just something missing from this movie for me that just stops it from being a great film and just keeps it at that very good level. And I feel like they just played it safe through a lot of this. There's not a lot of twists and turns. Like, everything is kind of predictable throughout this, especially the ending, which I like the ending. It makes sense. But you could see it coming from a mile away. Sophia Wilde's performance, like I said, is fantastic. Like, she does a very, very good job in this. And you really feel her pain and her guilt. How much she really wants it not to be true that her mom purposely killed herself. I guess the only thing I could say is it just doesn't wow me. Like, there's nothing in this movie that really made me, like, look at the screen and say, wow, this is a great sequence right here. Like, I'm, like, loving what I'm watching or anything like that. I was just enjoying it highly. Then it ended. Then I rewatched it a few days later, and it even went up a little bit. But there's just something missing. Things that I've seen hundreds of times in ghost movies or supernatural movies. Nothing new in that regard. But if you haven't seen it, would I recommend it? 100%. Definitely check it out. You might absolutely love this film, as a lot of people seem to. It just didn't hit that hype for me. And that's not a surprise, and that's usually why I try to avoid expectations and trailers or any knowledge about a movie, so that way I have no expectations. But in this case, the hype just was really, really high, and too much to avoid. But definitely check it out. It's absolutely worth a watch, at least one watch. It's probably worth a rewatch a little bit afterwards. It's very good. It's just not great. So that's Talk to Me. I know they have a sequel planned already called Talk with the number, I did it backwards, Talk with the number 2, Me. Which, I mean, then if you're talking about it to somebody, say, talk to me, and then they're going to say, like, which one? I don't know. So they already have plans for a sequel here. So hopefully that one can hit great levels for me. But for now, this one stays at very, very good. Alright guys, I'll have another video out a little later. Take care.